football fans, and welcome to the Team Rivalry Big Ten Week 0 football preview. I am your host, Cliff Richardson, and this is our commentator extraordinaire, Mackenzie Richardson. Mac, how are you doing?
Football is back, man, so I'm great.
I know we say this every year, but in January it always seems like football is so far away, but here we are. What are we, less than a week now from the 2022 season. Are you ready for some football?
Oh, yeah, I am so ready. It's been far too long. Let's do this.
Excellent. All right, game one, Northwestern at Nebraska. This is August 27th, 12:30 kickoff. Now, this game looks to be a lot of pomp and circumstance for two teams that are coming off of terrible seasons. Both Nebraska and Northwestern had 3-9 seasons last year. Now they're flying them out to Dublin, Ireland for the Aer Lingus Classic. Is it worth the trip? Do these teams have any hope of a turnaround this season, or are we just talking about a rebuilding year?
You know, when the NFL announced that it was going to start playing games in London, it kind of made sense because the rumor was at the time that they were exploring expansion teams there. For college football, it doesn't make a whole lot of sense to me, especially from a national landscape standpoint, actually, especially from a Big Ten standpoint. The only reason this makes sense is if the two teams involved were able to use it as a recruiting tool, but then you got to wonder if Northwestern and Nebraska are really the teams that could maximize the benefits of that. In terms of a turnaround season, this game is going to give us an early indication of what these teams should be expecting. I'm not exactly looking for Northwestern to have one of their random breakout seasons this year, especially given their record last year. Plus, they lost some talent to the transfer portal over the offseason. I think all eyes are going to be on Scott Frost in Nebraska. They did have a pretty awesome offseason, going all in on the transfer portal and picking up a great quarterback in Casey Thompson from Texas. Plus, they brought on a new offensive coordinator in Mark Whipple, who coached the Heisman finalist Kenny Pickett at Pitt. So there's definitely a lot to be excited about for this Nebraska team. The question is whether or not it will translate to victories. And for week 0, they better hope it does, or Scott Frost's seat gets a lot hotter.
And victories have been tough to come by for both teams, it sounds like. What's your prediction for the game?
So I'm going to go ahead and give Scott Frost that win. I'm going to take Nebraska winning a close game 35-28.
All right. Game 2. We have a non-conference game. So this is Wyoming at Illinois, August 27th again, a 4 p.m. kickoff. Illinois is another big team coming off of a losing season, 5-7 last year. In fact, the last 10 seasons, they've only had 2 seasons where they've won 7 or more games, where they won 7 games actually. Wyoming, on the other hand, in the last 6 seasons, has a 3-1 bowl record, which is a record for that school. In the last 6 seasons, Illinois has been to 1 bowl game, and they lost it. If Illinois wins this game, this is the big question. If Illinois wins this game, could it be considered a turnaround for the program?
Illinois would have to win their first 4 games for me to feel like this team is on track to turn things around. And honestly, maybe that's an obvious statement. I don't know. But to me, the name of the game for Illinois this season's got to be consistency. The offense scored a lot of points against very bad teams last season, but then it couldn't muster up much of anything against teams with a halfway decent defense. The notable exception, obviously, being the overtime victory at Penn State. Brett Bielema's done a really good job of switching things up on offense, bringing in the transfer quarterback, Tommy DeVito from Syracuse, and bringing on a new offensive coordinator in Barry Linney Jr., who coached with Bielema at Arkansas, so he definitely knows what Bielema wants there. They've got a renewed focus on the passing game, which struggled mightily last season and arguably lost the Illini some games, despite having an actually decent defense. Illinois' first 4 games are winnable with a consistent offense. And so that's why I'm saying if they start the season 4-0, then the rest of the West Division actually might want to watch out.
Consistency seems to be key. What is your prediction then for this game?
I do think Illinois is going to have another solid start to the season like they did last year, beating Nebraska. I'll take the Illini to win 31-21.
31-21. All right, so then we've got Nebraska and Illinois coming home with the wins at week 0. We'll know for sure in less than a week now. Until then, this is Team Rivalry.